Step all the way in this way in case we get somebody. Just this. Well, welcome to the Edith Head building. Edith Head was a legendary costume designer. She won the Academy Award for Best Costumes 8 times in her career. She actually won it twice in one year. In 1952, they gave away an Academy Award for Best Costumes in both black and white and color movies. She won them both. You might wonder, why is the prop warehouse named after a costume designer? Well, the 4th floor of this building houses our costume department. We're not going to be able to go up there today, but there's a huge rental stock of costumes, about 800,000 separate costume pieces covering the duration of men's and ladies' fashion for the entire 20th century. There's a big dressmaking shop, a men's tailor shop. It's all on the 4th floor. It occupies the whole 4th floor of this building. This building's about a city block inside. The 3rd floor of this building houses mostly smaller set decoration and props, anything from telephones to Roman swords and shields. The 2nd floor and this 1st floor that we're going to explore house mostly furniture. Now, we have one of the world's largest collection of props here on the lot of Universal, somewhere between 1.5 to 2 million separate pieces. So many so they don't all fit in this one building. You see on the wall, we have listed over here 9 different buildings around the property. If you need anything from a water cooler to some torture equipment, we got a collection of it somewhere that you can rent from. And that's the way that everything in here basically works. It's all on a rental basis. We're going to talk about how this collection is used as we move along this way. The way it usually works is a set decorator or a prop designer will get a script. Let's say they're working on an episode of CSI based here on the lot. Look at the script, they'll see, okay, in this episode we need to decorate a hotel room, a restaurant, and a lawyer's office. They'll come down here, they'll get to work, start looking around, finding the items that they need. That's what is called a self-service prop collection. You got to come down here and actually look around and find what you need. You can't just go on eBay and search that way. You got to come down here, find what you need, and then they will place one of these hold tags on the item. Yeah, this looks like, who knows what that is. It could be a made-for-TV movie, could be, a Nickelodeon movie, something like that. Kids versus Monsters. They'll put that hold tag on there. That's basically their reservation. That tells people who's taking the item, how long they're going to have it for, the contact information. Well, it doesn't say how long they're going to have it, but it says the date they're going to pick it up. Sorry, guys. On the day, we're going to actually walk down the aisle right this way. Guys, we're going to walk right down this way. Yeah, those kind of cool chairs, aren't they? Yeah. We're going to walk right down the aisle right this way. On the day that they're scheduled, yeah? You'll recognize the names of shows that are in your criminal minds, comes down here all the time. Like, they'll come down here on the day they're scheduled to pick it up. The crew will collect the items. You saw some of them working out there in the front with those big carts. We call them deckers. They'll take whatever they need down there to the front, and almost everything that's in here has a little barcode on it. You can see in the bottom of this chair, a little barcode. It's almost like they're shopping at a department store. Take it up there to the front, they scan the barcode, it comes up on the computer, tells them who's taking it, how long they're going to have it for. They take it out there on those loading docks, load it up, use it, and return it. Now you might wonder, why do they need a place like this? TV shows and movies, they got a lot of money. Why don't they just buy whatever they need, right? Well, sometimes they do, especially if it's for like a set, the one that we saw, where they're going to need it for 5, 6, 7 seasons. It's cheaper to buy it than it is to rent it. But a lot of times, they're only going to need some of these things for one scene that they're going to shoot one day for one episode, and that's it. They don't want to keep buying stuff and accumulating their own prop collection. They don't want to keep reusing the same stuff over and over and over again. It would look silly. People start, big fans of the show, start to notice that after a while. So here they have a huge stock of things continually rotating. They can come down, a lot of different things to choose from. Get what they need, use it, return it, and they're moving on quick and easy. Now you'll notice a lot of the furniture, it's not in really very good shape. That's about old stuff. A lot of times, especially with the furniture, the stuff that is the oldest is the stuff that rents out the most frequently. Because if you need new furniture, there's a lot of places you can go to buy or to even rent new furniture. But if you want something, maybe you're shooting a movie that takes place in the 1950s. Maybe you're shooting something that is in a ratty old motel room and the furniture is 30 years old. Where are you going to find that if not for a place like this? We're going to actually let's step back and just this gentleman get out of this card. Going to the left there?
I'll just shoot.
Oh, okay, yeah, great. Let's let him slide by. Yeah, please do not touch it. There's a tremendous amount of research that goes into set decoration and props. You got to be using things that are good for the story, good for characters, the right time period, things like that. The woman that runs this department is named Beverly Hadley. Pretty significant woman in the industry. She was one of the very first women to ever be the head of props on a major network TV show. She was the head of props on ER, the medical drama, probably you remember. Before she took over as the head of props on ER, she spent about a month going over to UCLA Medical School here in Los Angeles, going in, scrubbing up, and observing surgeries and medical procedures. Because she had to not only choose all the right equipment for each operation, she had to largely show the actors how to use it so it looked like doctors. There's kind of some famous items out here we're going to talk about a little bit, how some of the classic projects that have used it. Okay, grab some photos out here. Everybody notices E.T. right away. Unfortunately, was not in the movie. There was a E.T. ride that used to be down in the park, and that's sat by the E.T. ride. But the throne that E.T. is standing on is the throne where Joaquin Phoenix sat as the Emperor of Rome in the Academy Award-winning film Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Just like the young man's doing. That's where he sat in the arena to give the thumbs up and the thumbs down to the gladiators. Am I not merciful? Was sitting right there. These terracotta warriors, see one there, there's another one back over there, were originally used in the movie Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor with Brendan Fraser and Jet Li. Yeah, yeah. These angels with the tall wings, originally used in Angels and Demons originally, absolutely. Also used in the movie Fast Five with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. The big Buddha that you see over there was originally built for the movie Charlie's Angels with Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore. Now, that's kind of an interesting thing here. You see his chair's kind of busted up. When you rent anything from down here, one of the reasons you have to put down a deposit is because you have to return it in the same condition when you rent it. Obviously, they maybe broke that chair a little bit, and they'll lose a little money out of the deposit. That doesn't look like that's too hard to fix. But Nicki Minaj, you know Nicki Minaj? She rented, or for people at least, rented that throne for a photo shoot that I think they did for Vanity Fair magazine. They painted that throne purple. So they probably lost their entire deposit, because that's about how much it would cost to put that thing back the way it was. Because that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way you're supposed to return it if you rent it.
She painted it purple.
Painted purple for the statue. Yeah, they weren't happy when that came back. But the sarcophagus here is probably my favorite piece in the whole collection. It's from the original 1932 production of The Mummy, starring Boris Karloff. That's almost a museum piece in its own right. Right there. Yeah.
Where do they get all the furniture? Like how?
Variety of different sources. If a TV show, for instance, does buy it. Let's make room here so this gentleman. Are you coming out, sir? Oh, okay, good. If a TV show, maybe like Parenthood, does buy something instead of renting it, they'll use it for 4 or 5 years, and then when the show is done, it'll end up back here. Maybe they're out filming on location somewhere, and they'll buy something, and they'll end up being shipped back.
What's the oldest thing they got?
Well, that sarcophagus from 1932 is probably very close to one. It's just about the oldest thing before. So. This switchboard here, take a look at that telephone switchboard from the 1930s. I'll tell you a story about that when we walk outside.
What's that?
Grab a photo of that. I'll tell you about that as we head on over to the restaurant.
What's that?
It's a telephone switchboard from the 1930s. It's what they had to use to connect telephone calls back in the 1930s, before they had satellites.
Oh, sorry.
Tell you a story about that as we head outside. Warcraft, up this way to the left. This is more of the collection out here, actually. This stuff over here on your right that kind of looks like junk or garbage. These are actually rentable movie properties. Those dumpsters, I don't know if those dumpsters have ever had any real garbage. They got the whole tags on them. Yeah, watch this neon glass. Yeah, Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds probably going to be finding a body in an alleyway somewhere. So
I'm sure. Season 10 just around the corner. Keep watching, folks.
We're taking over to the Metro Stats. Right from alleyway with 6 bricks. Take that dumpster over there. Put an actor in some makeup. It looks like
Push it off the cliff. There's an episode. There you go.
Boom. There we go. But, see this big shopping cart? That was originally built for the movie. Well, it was used in the first year. It was originally built for an incredible shrinking woman in town. Yeah. But that switchboard, though, so I pointed out to you there. That switchboard is one of 8 that were hand-built for the movie Changeling, starring Angelina Jolie, directed by Clint Eastwood. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for that movie. Each one of those switchboards cost $16,000 a piece to build. It's like the cost of a small car. Yeah, actually, that's just it. I mean, you can't find them anywhere. So they had to wire and rig it and make all the lights and find all these parts that you could find anywhere and cobble it together. About the same time that Clint Eastwood was finishing up making that movie, Michael Mann was directing a movie called Public Enemies, also set in the 1930s, about Johnny Depp, John Dillinger. Yeah, absolutely. His production designer, Michael Mann's production designer, saw those switchboards, wanted to use them. Obviously, they're hard to find, expensive to build. He was told, well, you can use them, but you have to give us your word of honor, basically, that your movie, Public Enemies, will not be released in theaters until after Changeling comes out. Clint Eastwood didn't want to have the second movie set in the 1930s. That's pretty much the way with everything that's in this building. It doesn't go right back into circulation for other people to use as soon as it comes back. They wait until whatever it's been used in most recently has been on TV or in the movies. Then it goes back into circulation for other people to use. All right, we've got some restrooms right here. We'll take a short restroom break. This open doorway on the right-hand side.